Today we're at Temple Newsam in Leeds. We're raising awareness about what it means to be adopted.
This is the 10-year celebration of Adopteens. Peer support is so important and they do such a good job at it.
We've been celebrating 10 years. 10 years of Adopteens, which is quite an incredible feat.
I've been going to Adopteens for about 3 years now, and it helps adopted teens find that community and find other kids who might be going through the same thing they are.
Adopteens is where adopted people come around and socialise together. It's important to know what's you're not going through it alone.
It's just really nice to actually be around people that are just like you but also not.
So many young people think that they're the only one that have gone through this experience, even when they've got siblings that might be adopted as well.
Our eldest has been involved for, I think, about 4 years now. It's given him a great opportunity to connect with other adopted young people.
If I've had a problem with a teacher at school, a lot of my friends might think I'm crazy, they might think I'm being dramatic. But if I go to my group chat with my adoptees, they get it. It's, oh yeah, that happened to me.
It feels good to know you're not the only one and you've got other people around you.
It's all about creating a support network of people that have a shared experience. Without peer support, young people struggle. Without people to relate to, without people to understand your experiences.
And I'm still always struck by young people that come to the service that have never met other adopted young people. So it's hugely important for young people to have this opportunity to connect, to share their experiences, but just to be young people together.
We're there to represent the voices of every adopted young person who may not have the confidence to speak for themselves. We're there to show that we are human, we have feelings, and to kind of reduce the stigma and the taboo around adoption.
So they've very much spearheaded this whole event, and that's the beauty of Adopteens. It is a service set up by young people, for young people, and it's run by young people.
We're really about co-production in Adopteens. We've done about 5 films. We've created a training programme called Adopt to Change, where some of the young people train professionals who are social workers, therapists. We've had members of the DFE attend. They've designed that training, they've delivered that training. It is an impressive feat.
Training for social workers and teaching them how we want to be treated and the chance to be able to influence their practice means so much to so many young people that maybe don't have the ability to give their voice. People kind of don't want to talk about adoption. They don't want to address the word adoption. They don't want to feel like adoption is something that they have to talk about. But it is, and we're gonna.
People have misconceptions about adoption, how it's spoken about or not spoken about, how people are treated in, whether it's in schools or friendship groups, is often not really good.
Because there's a lot of stigma around being adopted, they kind of think that it's a bad thing, where that's really not the case. It might not be the family you were born with, but it is still your family.
We've got a youth council, so we talked to the youth council last year and said we've got a 10-year anniversary event coming up, what would you like to do? And they very much immediately together said we'd really like kind of Joe Public to understand what it means to be adopted.
And we started building this whole idea of an adopted child and how we can thread that into an event, and we managed to do that through a treasure hunt.
Terry is a fictitious adopted person. It's made up from the collective lived experience of our youth council members. So Terry's story kind of unfolds as you go through each of the treasure clues, so you learn a little bit more about adoption.
Going around this treasure hunt and picking up the pieces of Terry's story in the way that we pick up the pieces of our own story as we grow older. Terry is a character that is supposed to be us.
Terry is a kid who grew up in Hare Hills and he was adopted, and he wanted to find out more about his identity and his life before being adopted.
And so we created Terry so people who don't have these adoption stories can kind of almost feel that journey.
There is a lot of change that happens when you go into secondary school, whether you're adopted or not. But when you're adopted, it can be an additional challenge, additional triggers.
So it's a bit of a minefield really, because they're bringing lots of baggage to an educational institution, and it's how they navigate that.
And also it's the importance of having those conversations with school and professionals so that they have an understanding of what adopted children might be triggered by, what support they might need, and having safe spaces, safe people around them is super important.
So I'm a trained teacher, but kind of coming through teacher training, nobody ever made any efforts to make me aware of the issues that might face adopted students.
At my school we didn't have any person that was really educated in adoption, so if we just had at least one person for that in every school, it'd make much more of a difference.
One of the things they did via the Adopt to Change program recently was made a video, and so my son was part of making a video which was aimed to inform educators about the sort of issues adopted students face. I think it can be really difficult.
People have this narrative in their head that when someone's adopted, it's all okay, like that's the magic button that fixes it all, but that's not the case. Those experiences still exist, there's still lots of loss, there's still lots of trauma. You know, I just want people to take away that support is still really, really important for the teenage years.
It's really important that Adopteens is able to see it through for maybe another 10 years, just so that we can be able to support adopted children.
I think my perception of being adopted changed because I was a lot more negative about being adopted. It's really important for the future because there's going to be more kids who need help.
I would find it so difficult if I did never have adoptees. If I didn't have adoptees, my teenage years would be horrific.
We've got a long way to go in schools. Schools still are not there with understanding the impact of adoption. We've still got a long way to go for people to really understand about the impact of adoption being lifelong.
More and more people are becoming aware, but the problem is we shouldn't have to be coming out here and celebrating adoption because nobody else will. It should be in schools it's celebrated, government-wide it's celebrated.
We want to be able to get the message out there. We want funders to come along to fund this really, really important work so we can take it beyond Yorkshire and Humberside and actually set up adopteen services the length and breadth of the country because, you know, connecting young people like this is transformational.